only made one bad decision at 19!
Two bad decisions!
Hey everyone, welcome back to Two Bad Decisions.
I'm Laur.
And I'm Han.
And today we are going to be taking the enneagram test, which is like, from what Hans explained to me, 9 personalities instead of like the 16 one. And that was like a popular podcast for us.
Yeah,
so we're going to repeat it.
We've sold out and we're like doing a cash grab right now.
Absolutely. I cannot wait for our 5 viewers to really enjoy this one.
Okay, so what do we have to check in with? First
of all, these. I love them. I made them.
Mm-hmm.
So I got...
If you're only listening, Laura has like the fuzzy worm. She has fuzzy worms that she turned into earrings.
I did. I bought like Vans on Depop because Vans are too expensive and I will never buy them full price. And I got them and she was like, it looked like a surprise in there for you. And at first I was like, I don't know, man. Like I don't know about that. But they were these earrings. And they weren't the earrings, they were the worms. And I FaceTimed Han because I absolutely just had to show her these worms.
As you should, yeah.
Yeah. And I think Han was like, oh, like the earrings. I was like, oh my God, they have to be earrings. So I took a pair I didn't like and Gorilla Glued them. And then I took a necklace I didn't like and like took a knife and put a lighter underneath and cut off. And I have a necklace. I'm just not wearing it right now. But
amazing.
That's how I've been doing.
I really wish like people could have been there for like your hyperfixation on these worm earrings and worm necklace. Like you just like refused to think about anything else for like 30 minutes. And you were trying to saw off like the necklace thing, like the original pendant, and you were just like trying to burn things, and it was just like a lot. And you did it. You did it pretty fast too. I was surprised.
Yeah, it did come off kind of fast. I didn't know necklaces could catch on fire because they're metal. So in my head, they're not paper, they're not wood. And it scared the shit out of me because I was like, I had it on my dresser and a hand was like over here. So I don't know if you could see what was going on, but it just lit on fire. And I was like, oh.
Dude, I was so underwhelmed because you're like, oh, it's on fire. And I was just kind of like, at this point, I was like, you setting things on fire. I was like, okay, for sure. Is it okay? Like, are you good? Like, but yeah, amazing. They look great. They look awesome.
They're longer than my hair.
Amazing. Wow. They just like they're just so loud and I love it, you know?
They're very Harper vibes from Wizards Waverly Place.
Miss Harper Finkel. Oh my God. You know that? Oh God. For some reason, when I was a child, the episode where Harper's like future self like writes a book about them and then they like find out that it's Harper in the future. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I didn't watch it a lot. I watched most of it, but that one's not in my brain.
Okay, so that was the episode, and basically like Harper in the future decided to write like a book series about Alex's adventures and like their whole family and stuff. And they were getting so freaked out because they're like, who is this woman that's writing about our lives, right? And they didn't realize because it was like under a pen name. And they go to find the author and they realize that it's Harper from the future. And basically the woman that they cast was just like this like redheaded woman and like looked kind of like not really looked like her, but like you could be like, oh, that's Harper in the future. And it was just like, I don't know why, but it terrified me. Like this woman was so scary. I was so scared of her. Like it wasn't even a scary episode, but the way they marketed it was like, I remember all the little previews, they would be like showing this woman that was supposed to be Harper when she was older. And I was just so terrified. And I literally was so scared of her. And I couldn't watch that episode because her face scared me.
Oh my God. So yeah, how have you been doing?
Okay, so yeah, besides that, no, I'm okay. I think I said previously, but I write for Unpublished now, and I got to interview I knew them from high school like vaguely, but their names are Noah and Chris. Noah Mack and Chris Thatch. So Noah's a musician. And he basically they're friends, and Chris is a filmmaker, and they made a bunch of music videos for Noah's album last year. And they generally just work together all the time on film projects for Noah's music and stuff. And I got to interview them about like, I don't know, like their creative partnership and just like the music videos and their whole processes for stuff. And it was so much fun. Also, they don't listen to this, right? I can say that I've had a friend crush.
You can say you have a friend crush.
I do have a friend crush. I've had a friend crush for like the longest time. And this like heightened it. I was also acting like really weird. I was acting so
I feel like
weird.
you never come off as weird. I think that's one of your like, I don't know, one of your things. Like you just don't come off as weird. Like you come off as like really cool and like
That's
like
so
just
nice.
collected and shit. I want that so badly.
Oh my God. I really would love to believe I hope that's how I come off. I'm just pretty sure that like I was just so nervous for no reason. And I like was sharing too much. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is so personal. I was like, why am I saying that aloud? I just
If
kept
Will
going.
listens to this right now, I'm so sorry that our first FaceTime call was me unloading trauma on you.
I really love I love upon meeting people for the first time, just like putting it all out on the table. Like, look, this is all my trauma. This is what you have to deal with. This is what you're signing up for. I really love that because full disclosure. And then we all know what everyone's dealing with. And we're like, cool, we're damaged enough to be friends with each other. That's how we do it.
Yeah, that's how I like make introductions, is just oversharing.
Absolutely.
Which
Yeah.
I think that's what this podcast has become. Like I think after the journal cast, we just really lost it.
No, yeah. It was really just like everything out on the table at all moments. No, but like it's because I don't know who I was saying this to, but like the podcast has like there's like no accountability. Like we say things in an hour and then we just post it, and I don't, I listen through when I edit, but like I don't really like pay attention to what we're saying. And then like it feels like I just said something and it was like a private conversation until people are like, oh, remember when you said this on the podcast? And I was like, oh my God, you heard that.
Like, were you listening? Were you eavesdropping? Like,
it's like that was
that
a
is so
private.
personal. I
was like, that was like not for your ears. Like it's that was a private conversation. And then yeah, but us putting it like literally on Spotify and like me acting surprised when someone actually listened.
I like my mom. Shout out to my mom if she's listening. I don't think she's caught up. But she shared it with like my aunts. And I know, like in my head, this is a public platform. Anyone can listen. But like the idea of my extended family knowing how I feel about things. Cut the cameras. We're done.
No, literally, like I know that in my brain. And it's like, okay, remember, people can hear what you're saying. Like you're not just talking privately. And I'm like, okay. And then I just like share as if it's private. And I'm like, okay, honestly, just gonna disregard that. Yeah. But anyways, do you have anything to check in with?
The worm earrings were the peak.
Amazing. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I think that's enough. That's substantial. Okay. So I think we should hop in. I think we've got like quite a long test. So this test is formatted with like a bunch of statements about yourself, like in first person, like I do blah blah blah, and then you have like it ranges from like inaccurate to neutral to accurate, and then that's the format of the test. So I guess we go back and forth and we'll just like talk about it. Awesome. Do you want to start?
Sure. Okay. Do you want to do the thing where we share our answers after we
after we choose? Yeah. Cool.
So the first statement is, I strive for perfection.
Okay, I've chosen. Have you chosen?
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I said in between. I said like I guess it would be like it's mildly accurate.
I said fully accurate.
Wow. There are some things where I really, really need them to be perfect. But then there's some things where it's like usually when I'm having, I don't know. There are days when I check out and I'm like, I'm going to bullshit this entire thing and not strive for any sort of perfection. And it's going to be absolute bullshit. And I'm not going to pretend otherwise.
Yeah, I get that like sentiment. But then I like I'll like revise it after I turn it in because I feel awful that I wrote something so shitty.
Really? I don't have that. I love the whole like I'm not gonna read this back. Like I'm just gonna turn it. I saw a TikTok that was like, why would I go like you asked for my thoughts, so why would I go back and change them?
These are raw thoughts, baby. I remember there was a point where I meant to wake up early and write this paper, a midterm paper.
Mhm.
And the class was at 8 a.m.
Oh my God.
I was like, I'm going to wake up. My roommate hated me for this. I would set alarms so early and do my work before class. And I woke up at 7 and I still had to get ready, get to school, print out this essay,
Oh my God.
and somehow make something like tangible. And like
Whoa.
the printer was also broken. So I got there, I was like on the verge of a breakdown when I was talking to my professor. He's like, just email it to me. Like,
Oh my God.
angel of a man. But I I wrote it very quickly. I don't know how, because it was like 5 pages long and I had an hour to get there, to get to school, get dressed, and write this 5-page paper.
Jeez.
And I obviously didn't have time to proofread it. And I was looking back and there was this point, I think I meant to write like media or something. And I wrote meniscus. He gave me, no, I meant to write minuscule and I wrote meniscus. He gave me an A.
Oh my God. Wow, this man, he's
I'm
really
like,
generous.
did you read it? Like,
He was doing his charity work.
by the way, he's the one who helped me get into the school that I'm currently in.
Amazing.
So like,
What a
I feel
man.
guilty about that one paper that I like. I was like, I didn't deserve that A. Like, you should not have given me that A.
Okay.
Sorry, professor. I really like.
That's so funny, dude. Okay, the next one says, I work hard to be helpful to others. What did you say?
I said neutral. I don't think I like work super hard for it. Like, I feel like sometimes I do, but not enough for that to be like accurate, which is maybe a personality flaw. But
no, yeah, I would love to be really helpful to others. I definitely try. I had said mildly accurate just because like I don't know that I actually am. I think I have a problem with like making things about me. This is like bad to admit, but like I don't know. So I really try to be like a good listener and like be helpful to, well, my being helpful means like listening and being there for people. I feel like that's but yeah. So I don't know that I'm necessarily successful, but I try. Yeah.
yeah, I think you're really helpful. I don't think you really project, but that's just like when we talk. So I don't know like how your relationships.
Like I don't know what shit you're doing with other people, but like
I always make that disclaimer because I feel like one day I'm gonna give someone really bad advice.
That's so funny. Okay, next.
It is important to me that other people like me. I already answered it.
Accurate. It's so accurate. That's all I care
I
about.
put mildly accurate, like in between neutral and accurate, because I feel like it's important to me, and I'm like very dissatisfied when someone doesn't like me. But there's certain people I love that they don't like me. Because like I'm glad like I picture the kind of person, like when a conservative like in your class really hates you, and I'm like in my head or in their head, like they hate like free thinking, like leftist people, like they just hate people like that. And I'm like, good, because that's what I look like to them. So it brings me some kind of satisfaction. So I said mildly.
Okay, I'm thinking of changing. Okay, so because I also love that. See, I have a thing where I'm like, I don't care. Like, and I do feel like that a lot of the time. I do feel like I don't care like about what people think. But then also, I'm like also the kind of person that like, I come off very chill because I mostly am. But then there are things where I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I'm cool. And then I'm like, that really hurt my feelings. And it's like that kind of like I don't know. I can't even actually no. I still fully think it's accurate because I still care when like someone who's like incredibly stupid dislikes me. Like I don't necessarily like want to change it, but I want to understand why they don't like me.
I would get off on that. I'm like, thank God.
That's so funny. Okay, so next one. It is important to me to achieve great things.
I said accurate.
Accurate.
Okay.
Very accurate. That's my.
Glad we're on the same page there. I think that's obvious though, with like the extras we do or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's why we get along. We have that in common.
And we're also both like, sometimes we're a little lazy. Like
Mhm.
it matches up nicely because we don't have like, at least I don't think I have like that like super hard grind, like work 24/7
Yeah.
work like I wish I had it, but I
Mhm.
don't have that work ethic. And so
Me
sometimes
neither.
it feels nice to have someone who's also like, it's okay that you didn't do this thing like right now. Like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It like I like just in general, I want to achieve things, but I'm also like an incredibly lazy person, or I would love to be a lazy person sometimes. I don't stuff like that. But yeah,
um did I just read that one or did you?
I did.
Okay. I make more significant contributions than the average person. I feel so bad answering.
I know what we both think, and I know we both think that we make so like our contributions to society are so significant.
I hate that. I hate that I'm such like a narcissist because I know what you answered too.
Uh-huh. It's just
Like
accurate.
I said accurate.
I don't get it because like I also have a very like thorough understanding that like okay, I'm like okay, cool. I am the side character in life. I'm okay with
Mm.
that, but also um what I'm doing right now is like really important. It's more important than
I think
the
about that all the time. I'm like, and I know in my head there are people doing a lot more important
other.
things than me. But this podcast, I mean,
I know me thinking about I really did something every single week with this podcast.
and looking back and we're like,
Oh my
talked
god.
about like feelings no one wanted or asked to hear about for like an hour.
I also think that okay, it's also because I think like I work hard, so that's
Mhm.
probably that's part of I don't think like everything I do is the best, but like I do
Me
think
too.
that I put in a lot of work to things that I care about.
Agree. I think it's like very obvious when you do something like that you want to do, that you have put like so much effort into it. So,
Yeah, I have that. See, I can work very hard and I can have a good work ethic, but I guess that's not a good work ethic if it's like circumstantial, but like, but it has to be
I
something that
don't
I
know.
care about. I
Does
have
a
to
work
care.
ethic have to be like solid for everything? Like, do you have to put 100% into everything? Or can a good work ethic just be like, I care really
Mm,
deeply about these things? Well, wait, wouldn't that make it even better? Because like you're focusing all your energy on the things you do care about.
I
I
guess
don't know.
so,
I
but
guess
then yeah, but I guess that the other side is like you have to do things in life that you don't like. Like, sorry to break it to you, and I just simply it's been 19 years. I have not accepted that yet. Like,
yeah, me dude, if I didn't like a job, I just quit it. I never understood people who were like, I hate my job. Like at my age, obviously when you're older, like you
uh-huh.
have to, but like there are a lot of options. I guess most people don't know this, but there's like a lot of options, especially in like government work for younger
Mhm.
people.
Oh
And
my
if you
god,
plan on
yeah.
not going to school, let me just say this real quick. Get into government work because you can retire by 50 or 55 and you're going to be making so much money because of your tenure. So
Mm,
just do it.
wow, amazing. No,
If
yeah.
I weren't going to school, that's what I would do. Is like what I'm currently doing, but I'd be doing it full time.
Wow.
But yeah, like I don't know. I've had jobs that I hated. Like I hated working as a server. I hated at like a country club. I hated working at Dairy Queen or in fast food. So I just quit.
Dude,
Like,
no, I am the same. I am the same. No, I've always been like a firm. I've always prioritized my happiness over things, which isn't always a good thing, but like just for where I was, and like I was comfortable enough to like be able to do that. And I've also always been like, if you don't like it, like make your own job that like or like create the space that you like need to like
mhm.
work and then like be happy with it. Like I started my own ukulele lessons because I was like, okay, I don't have like the space because I didn't like being a swim instructor. I was like, this isn't, I like teaching. It's not necessarily this though. So I was like, so I'm just going to teach something that I like to teach. And
Mhm.
then, so now that's my work. Like that's what I do. But,
I love that. I love that that's like you work on your own time and stuff like that.
it's really nice. Cool. Next one. I feel my emotions very deeply.
I already clicked the answer.
Okay, cool.
Accurate.
We don't have to
Yeah.
get into it. Let's move on.
Yeah. Everyone knows that. We have a podcast dedicated to our feelings.
I know we always get into it. So we all know it's pretty obvious.
Mhm. I have a sense that other people will never truly understand me.
Mhm.
I answered.
I said mildly accurate.
So did I. Um, it's not that I don't think like people like have like can read me. I think I'm like once you know me for a while, it's pretty easy to like
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm like a particularly like complex person. Like it's just that my emotions are like so unpredictable. I think when it
Uh-huh.
comes to stuff like that, I'm like I
Yeah.
don't even know how I'm about to react to something and like sometimes I didn't need to react that way. And like I don't know what it is, but
Yeah. I feel the same
yeah,
way. Yeah. I
I
feel
also
like
lie about random shit. Just like little shit. Like I don't know why I do it, but I do. So
okay, what mine is like I am really, if I'm being asked about my feelings like on the spot and it's like like, unless if it's like complicated enough, like I I'm not good at knowing what I'm feeling right away. So then I'll answer and say something that's like wrong. And I'll say like
oh
the
yeah.
wrong, I'm like, wait. And then after I'll be like, that's not even how I feel. And like I've always felt like, see, I feel like the opposite, where I feel like I'm a little too like intensely wired and like complex. Like not in a way that I'm like, I'm just like so complex, but like I just think there's like a lot going on up here. So it's like hard to understand for other people. And I've like very rarely felt like people get it.
Yeah. I think mine's similar but opposite, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. I
That's a
like
lot
to
of things
yeah.
between
I like
us.
me and Hannah have like same brain but different energy.
And yeah, different results for some reason, but we have the
Yeah,
same like thought
like
process.
intensely different results.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, I think I have like sometimes I like think a little too much and I like to drown it out with meaningless things and like sometimes that means I haven't thought about my feelings enough to know how I actually feel. And I'll just like
Mm,
throw something out there and it doesn't really make sense. Or I'll lie about like I got something out of the mailbox and there was no reason for me to lie about this. I bought something on Poshmark and my dad was like, "What's in the bag?" I was like, "Oh, it's the bathroom trash." What? Why did I say that? It wasn't.
that's so fun. I wonder why.
I think about that all the time. I'm like, there was no reason for me to lie about that.
That's so funny, dude. I do feel like people, I think I've found friends that understand me, but I've never felt like that in a relationship for sure, like a romantic relationship. I feel like I've always dated people where like I understand them, but I
Mhm.
never felt like it was like the same way back. Like I think they got a lot of me. Like I don't think like, oh, I was still misunderstood, but like I think there was like a missing aspect to make me feel like very completely like someone really understood how I was feeling. Because I think as because I don't know what I'm thinking ever, I need people around me that know what I'm feeling.
Mhm.
So they can
Yeah,
be like, this is why you're doing this. Don't worry about it, dude.
that's why I like Mariel and Hannah because I think that sometimes I
Hmm.
like I remember a lot first semester when I was like figuring shit out still, not knowing how I really felt. And Mariel would be like, "Well, do you think it's this?" And I'd be like, "Oh, yeah, like it is." Like,
Yeah,
thank
dude.
you.
She's so good at doing that.
Mhm.
Amazing. Cool. D- okay, me. I think deeply about things.
Accurate. Like
Yes, I do.
we
Cool.
spend like 15 minutes on each of these questions.
Yeah, like what? Yeah, we do too.
Ooh, this one I think we're going to be really different on. I am
Okay.
prepared for any disaster. I have to think about this one for a second.
Let me think. As in like, okay, disaster.
I've selected.
I think I've selected as well.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
I said I'm not sure about this yet, but I said mildly accurate. This is subject to change, but
I
it's
said mildly
I
inaccurate.
thought you would say that.
Mhm.
It's because I'm not necessarily prepared for any
Mhm.
like specific situation, but I think put in one I'd be able to deal. I think.
I think mine is, I said mildly inaccurate because one, I don't think I'm equipped to deal with a lot of things. Like, I think about this a lot. I'm like, I joke about like trauma and shit, but I've had a
Mhm.
pretty easy life. Like,
No, I think about that too for me. Yeah.
things have generally just worked out for me. And like, yeah, like I don't know. I guess I joke about these things a lot, but I'm like, I've had a fairly easy life. Like,
Hmm.
you know what I mean?
No, yeah.
So I think like something could really just hit me out of the blue and I wouldn't be ready for it. Like if
Yeah.
suddenly I had to like drop out of college, I don't think I'd be able to cope. Like I would just like be desperately clawing to
Mm,
like get back into college because like I need
yeah.
that structure. And like other people could just like I see people on TikTok that have to drop out and they're just like vibing and creating a career on TikTok. And I'm like, I
Amazing.
couldn't do that. Like I would sit in my room and cry all day. And like
See, I think I would be okay in that situation because I have a thing where like if there's any sort of space in my life, I immediately go to fill it with something. I'll like look for things. So I think I would be okay in that kind of situation. Interesting.
Yeah. That's crazy because during quarantine, I when school stopped, like I wasn't doing great. I mean, I still got good grades, but that's because we were past midterms by the time we went back.
Mm-hmm.
Time we went home. And so I did like fine in my classes. I knew my professors. They like were easy on me
Yeah,
for that
same.
part. But like I think about that now, like how I'm doing now, and I'm like, I can't like suck up. So I like feel like I wasn't prepared for that. And also there was like those months like in the summer where there was like no,
Ooh.
I could not tell you what I did from May to
Oh
August.
my God. Now I'm feeling iffy about my answer because I had a hard time this summer, dude. It was
I didn't do
rough.
anything because I wanted to be safe. And
Me
then
too.
all my friends weren't. Well, not all my friends, but like some of my friends weren't, or like people I would have hung out with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I also felt like so left out because like I was like the only person that I knew that was like fully quarantining and like doing their best.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
hard.
yeah. So like, and then I just didn't do anything because I didn't want to hang out with people who had like gone to a party or something. So
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I guess like I'm gonna leave my answer, but now I'm doubting it, but that's okay.
I feel like we do this. We end up switching our answers to get like really close, but I don't think we have the same like type.
No, yeah,
If that
I think
makes sense.
okay. It is important to me to avoid pain and suffering at all times. I actually feel pretty strongly about this.
Really?
hmm
Okay. I said I feel neutral.
I said inaccurate.
Um,
I don't think I avoid it. I think I like to feel my feelings. I've never
mhm,
been somebody who like I'm like I've never suppressed my feelings or anything like that. So
mhm.
I don't know. And also like when I'm presented with sad things or things that are stressful, I've always like gone head first for the most part. I don't think I've ever like avoided things really. So that's why I
Yeah,
disagree.
I avoid things for I don't realize I'm avoiding them. But like I've had friendships that were failing for like a year before I cut it off. And like you know what I think I prolong it, but I don't mean to.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel weird about it. I'm like, do I just want something like interesting in my life? Like, do I just want a little spice?
That's
Um,
interesting. Huh.
yeah. So I feel pretty like, yeah, I don't actively seek it out, but I also feel like I prolong it. So I said neutral.
Interesting. Yeah, I agree with that for you.
Mhm. I seek out experiences that I know will make me feel happy or excited. I feel like that I said accurate.
Accurate,
I
I
feel like
think.
most people would be accurate.
Mm-hmm. And I think we both actively look for those, I
Mhm.
think. Cool. I see the positive. I see the positive in every situation. Mm.
Mm.
Okay, let
I've
me
been doing
just
this the whole time. I hate that. I hate that I've adopted that.
Me too. I'm trying to stop doing it. And I'm like, okay,
I
you
also
need
do
to.
this a lot.
I also do that. Yeah. They're like pushing your hair behind your ear. Sorry, I just
Oh, it's
realized no one can see it. Like sometimes people aren't like always watching us like on YouTube. Okay. But
oh,
anyways, I think we both agree that this is inaccurate. We don't see the
yeah,
positive. I
absolutely not. I joke about like the negative. Is that like seeing the pot? No, that's not. I joke about it to make it like feel lighter.
but
But
I
I don't
don't
think it counts.
but I don't like to I just really see this is me like not I just really look for the bad things. I don't know why. Like I'm not like always like deeply unhappy because of that. I don't think it's a bad thing to like see negatives. I just think it's a
Right.
thing.
Yeah, I have this conversation with my mom a lot, and we talk about like the news and what like what's presented in the media. I talk about my mom a
Mhm.
lot on here, but like she was like, "We'll see like a heartwarming story or whatever." She's like, "Why don't they show more of that?" And like I don't understand that sentiment. Like I don't
Mhm.
actively seek out things that make me feel good. Like
No,
like
I get it.
like I want to see all these awful things and like maybe I don't know if it's like a I want to change. I mean, obviously you can't as one person, like you can't change this entire like issue that has zero to do with you or sometimes does, but
Mhm.
like you know what I mean? Like I'm like I
Yeah.
wish I saw more of these awful things. And like that feels like something that you shouldn't want to see.
No, yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think it's good to me like being able to see the negatives is something that's like a good thing for me so because it keeps me realistic in like a good
Yeah.
way. It keeps me logical and it keeps me like so that I'm not like running with like false notions because I don't want to be like that. But okay. Okay, next one.
I'm not afraid to tell someone when I think they're wrong. I can guess your answer, I feel like.
What do you
Uh,
think? Let me answer. Okay. What do you
oh,
think?
tell me when you answer.
I
I
answered.
think you said mildly accurate.
I said mildly inaccurate. I'm kind of scared. There are people where I realize that I can do that with them. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I have like weird um like very specific circumstantial fears. I don't know. It's like I'm not sure. What did you say?
I said neutral because I do it. Like you've said this before, I feel like on the podcast. I pick like really weird times to be angry. And like,
Yeah.
like someone did I tell I told you this story, but I don't think I told it on the podcast. There was this guy in this like van in front of me when I was coming home from I don't know if it was work or I don't know what I was coming home from, but
Mhm.
I was about to get on our like it's called like 2 East, but it's I guess like a highway kind of. I actually don't know
Mhm.
the difference between a highway and a freeway. I'm
They're
gonna
the
say
same. They like I think oh God, I've had this conversation. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this with Colby before. We had
that.
a whole I think highways are like the ones that like go through like everything.
Okay, then highway because it
Okay.
has like a bunch of exits. So, but then I'm like, what's the free anyway?
Okay. Because then I think the freeway is like this. I don't know. I don't want to say anything wrong. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the difference. Sometimes I just throw the word out there and hope it sticks. But I realize you guys don't know what like 2 East is.
I don't
So
know what that is, but
yeah,
that's
that's
okay.
just like that's the way I go home. That's like I take it all the way to my exit.
Okay.
But there was this guy in front of me, and it goes from so like the road I'm driving on is 35 is the speed limit. But the when you take the exit, you have to be going 60 by the time
Mhm.
you're on the highway.
Yeah.
And he first of all, I recorded his van because it freaked me the hell out. It it wasn't just that it had like weird stains all over. I think it like sent Han the video.
Yeah.
Also, it had like first of all, no medical labels. So it couldn't have been like a medical vehicle, but there was this, you know how you would see an IV? There was like a blood bag hanging off of it.
Dude, it was so sus. It was
I
like
was like, what is that? Like,
yeah. It was like a rusty van with like a
mhm.
blood bag just hanging in the back, and it was so sus.
And that part was weird enough. Like, so I recorded it because like sometimes like I'll record random like vehicles. Like if there was this one that says like I hate Democrats and terrorists alike, and I like record it and I was like, hey, it's me. But like, um I yeah, I felt weird about it, so I recorded it. And then as we're getting on this highway, he's first of all, he was going lower than the speed limit. He was going like 25 when we were like driving on the road. So he's already going 10 under. And then he only speeds up to 30. And it's 60. And there's this car coming like straight at me. I can't do anything because this
Mhm.
man is purposefully driving slow in front of me so that I can't speed up. This car can't do anything because it was trying to like slow down so we could merge on. They were trying to
Mhm.
be nice. But then they realized like this man isn't speeding up. So I drove off on burn, whatever you call it, the rumble thing. And
Mhm.
because I was like, they're gonna hit me. And like they swerved over so fast and like barely made it around me. And I was like, I wasn't as angry as I should have been at the time because I was scared because I
Mhm.
like almost died. And like
Yeah.
this man like was still going 30. And so I swerved around him real quick. I was like being an asshole. I like went like that. And I just realized no one can see what I did. I turned my wheel really fast and like swerved in front of him. I didn't use I swear I normally use my blinkers. So I was just trying to be an asshole. And like he yeah, I was like angry, but I didn't even beep because I was scared he was gonna kill me.
Yeah.
Um
No, yeah. I think like I'm thinking about it now, and yeah, I do agree that it's neutral for you because it's like I don't know. It just depends on the situation. But I think I'm changing it to mildly accurate just because I don't like I think I'll tell people when I'm like scared. So it's not that I'm not afraid. I am afraid, but I will say it.
yeah. Mine's like I take it like strangers, I'll get pissy at. Like, what's wrong with me? But I can't tell my own friends. Like
I think that's normal, but yeah. Um, cool. I let other people make the decisions. Um,
I know what mine is. I feel like
I don't know what it should be for mine. I know you do. I choose weird times to be like
assertive.
Yeah. What do you think for me?
Mm, the only I'm thinking of it in like our relationship. Can make the decisions. Like she'll be like, please just tell me what sushi place you want to eat at. I'm like, I don't know.
I didn't know where you want to go.
Like, I can't do it. Like Han has to make the decision. And like I don't know why. I just can't do it. Like
That's so funny.
but yeah, so I guess in our relationship, yes, but I don't know. I feel like if you're around someone who's like more decisive or like decisive at all, you'll like take the back seat.
Oh, absolutely. If I have even the slightest chance to like tap out, I will. I'll be gone. I'll be like, okay, I'm going in the backseat where Laura is, and we're just gonna ride. Like
so it's like the difference between us hanging out and then all four of us hanging out, like me, you, Hannah, and Mariel, because we'll absolutely, like the two of us will let Mariel take full directive with the directions.
Yeah, for sure.
She will be, if we can take the back seat, we will. But I think between the two of us, one of us had to step up, and it wasn't gonna be me.
That's so funny. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at mildly inaccurate. I think I feel better about that.
Yeah, I said pretty accurate, mildly accurate.
Yeah, I agree for you.
There are a couple things that I'm like very solid on, and like always about.
Okay, sick. Next page. We're only on the first page. We're only on the second page now. Okay. Did I just read it? Yeah, I did.
Okay. I just burped in my mouth.
I slurped it.
I appreciate having rules that people are expected to follow. I don't know how I feel about this.
I feel I appreciate structure, but I don't, but the word expected and like having people, it just kind of makes me feel like rebellious, and suddenly I'm like, burn it down.
I said I feel like mildly accurate because I really like structure and rules, so I know it's like expected of me.
I agree. Yeah.
If I think a rule's stupid, like suddenly that doesn't apply anymore. Like,
no, yeah, I agree. Same thing. Okay.
And I'm also not big on authority, so I don't know.
I know that's weird. I do agree though. Like I like the structure and I like knowing what is expected of me, so I know what to do. Okay. I am concerned about security more than anything else. I said mildly inaccurate.
I said neutral because like I like it, but it's not my biggest concern.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Because like I do think it's important and I do seek security in my life, but like it's definitely not like I would never tell anyone that that's like the highest on my list.
And I also like it's more of a myself kind of thing. Like I like being alone a lot. So like I like having places I feel secure in. It's not necessarily like a people thing. I mean, I guess like there's some people I feel really safe with, but like it's more of like a place thing for me.
Interesting. I'm thinking about like future security, as in like the choices now like being set up for later in life.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know. Okay, cool. Oh, that's like related to the next one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you read the next one? I think a lot about what will happen in the future.
Yes. Accurate. Amazing. Yeah. Okay. I feel like that's obvious. We talk about that all the time. I think that's also why we like that, why we're friends. Cool. I don't fit in with ordinary people. I'm just built different, dude. I actually feel like that a little bit. I hate that I feel like that. I don't want to feel like I'm special or something, but I do.
I think you say you're like an acquired taste a lot, and I feel the same way about myself, but like I don't know, you just have something, I think. So I'm watching Sex Ed right now, and there's this girl, I forget her name because I'm only on episode 2, but she has like blonde hair and then like pink that goes up to here, and she reminds me of you. She's like the kind of person, they were talking about her, and they were like, she's the kind of person like that's cool in high school, but you don't know she's cool until after you graduate and you realize like you missed out. And that's how I feel about you. Like I think you were just like, you say like you were just like average in high school or whatever. I think you were so cool and you just didn't know.
That's a really nice compliment, but it was not.
Let me perceive you as like you were in a band, hand. Like I worship the ground you walk on.
Oh god, that was a weird time in life. Okay, I'm gonna say mildly accurate. I just feel
I
like
said mildly
yeah.
inaccurate
Okay.
because I feel like I changed my I mean, I feel
Mm,
like I'm pretty like honest with you, but I feel
mhm.
like I changed my personality like around different people. Like I rushed a sorority and got in and got a bid and shit. I'm look at me. Do I look like
She has a bandana.
like observe? You fill in the context clues.
No,
'Cause
I think
I'm not gonna say it, but I have a bandana, um, and worm earrings right now.
like is it clicking yet, people? Is it clicking? No, I think what it is with you is like it's not that like it's not that you are someone who's like so ordinary and like average, but it's more that like you know how to fit in with
Yeah.
people. I guess like just like masses of people, you know, like went like just in general.
Mhm.
So that
And I
makes
don't
sense.
enjoy it, and I don't know how they don't read that. Like, I'm just not having a good time, and they're like they still
You
liked me, and I was so confused.
no, you can never tell when you're not having a good time with people. It
Yeah.
looks like you're just like okay with it.
I hate that. I wish more people knew I was absolutely not having a good time.
That's me. I feel like everyone around me knows when I hate something. Like when I hate a person, it's like very
Yeah.
obvious. It's loud.
See, but when I try to make it obvious, I do like too much, and then I
Mm,
really hurt someone's feelings, and then I feel bad.
amazing. But like that's okay. Okay, next one.
There is rarely a good reason for changing how things are done.
Okay.
Like,
Inaccurate.
yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah,
I think things should change all the time.
I think so too. I think when you're working off of the same set of like rules or whatever for a long time, like that's just not realistic because things change constantly. So how could you not adjust with it?
Mhm.
But yeah, I always finish my chores. No,
Yeah,
absolutely not.
inaccurate. I just said inaccurate.
I said
I
mildly.
leave so much to be done. And that's one of my goals for this year is not to do that.
I like as we speak, I have so much that I have to do.
Mhm. I'm like realizing midterms are coming up. I'm like, hmm, I agree. I agreed to lead the lecture for next week for recitation. And
Ooh,
I haven't read the thing yet. So like I better get on that because I'm gonna look stupid. Like
that's so funny, dude.
why I don't know why I agreed. I knew I hadn't read it. Like
Wait, that's so funny. You're just like, yeah.
I just wanted to impress her because no one was answering. I was like, I'll do it. I'll do it. Like I am always trying to be a better person. I
Mm,
said mildly accurate.
I said mildly accurate too.
Because I don't
Yeah.
feel like people that like wake up and it's like a conscious effort. They do like affirmations and shit like that. I feel
Hmm.
like I try, but I pick weird moments to try.
Yeah, me too. I think when I try when I learn that like I'm doing something that's maybe not good.
Mhm,
I'm like, oh, I'm like, you're being really toxic right now.
mhm.
Fix it. And then I do.
But if it's for myself, I'm like, no, no,
Hmm. No,
we
exactly.
will cover that. And sometimes it just works out, and I never have to think about it again. But
Amazing. Okay. I check carefully for mistakes and errors. Mm, mildly accurate, I
I
think.
said mildly inaccurate, but I
Yeah.
can't justify why. That's just how I feel.
No, I think so too for you. That makes sense.
Mhm. I'm
Cool.
like very chaotic. That just like presents itself in every aspect of my life.
Uh, amazing. I like that. Okay, next one.
I like to be around people who I can help.
That's interesting. I feel like I make friends with people who help me.
I feel okay, so mine's more I feel like I have a lot of friends that are like I say this all the time, but I feel like Meryl and Hannah are constantly on a different level that I'm just trying to achieve. Um, and like lately I feel that way with you. Like you're doing so much and like I'm like, oh my God, like I have to keep up. So like I feel like that helps me. But I also have that like I would like to fix this person that I am just friends with. I would like to erase all of their trauma. And
Wow,
like
I don't
that's
have that. That's
I don't know
crazy.
why. And like I'm just like the idea that someone could ever hurt this person that I'm friends with, like, like I like
Aw.
I don't like it, and I'm like, I will fix you, don't worry. Like,
That's so
just,
funny.
like, that can be toxic though. Like me like having the
Little
the
bit.
need to like fix people. Like, you're fine.
Mhm.
They're fine how they are. Leave them alone. Like,
I think like my close friendships are like people who really help me. I try to do the same back. And I don't I feel like I've become friends with people who are so good at helping other people that I don't think I could ever help them on the same level.
I
And I've
agree.
been thinking about that a lot. Like, um, I'm thinking about Matt because like I think this man he's seen me like having a breakdown. And I was like, but it's like at the point now where I'm like, what could I possibly give you in our friendship that like
Mhm.
would be helpful to you? Because you're just like too helpful to me. You know what I mean? Like when they've
Yeah, I
been
get what you
there
mean.
for you like too many times in a row, it's like, well, what am I gonna do for you? Because like he's not damaged. I mean, he's like fine. Like he's usually doing okay. So I'm like, what am I? You're not hurt. Like what do I do?
I don't know what to do with people who aren't like traumatized from something. Because I would
Like
just
don't
like
know
to
how to
talk
act.
about it all the time until we can eventually like work it out. But
That's so funny. So I'm gonna say neutral because I do like helping people. I just like don't know that I'm good at it, you know? That's what
I
I
don't think
always
I'm
feel like.
good at it. I just like
I think
do
you
it
are.
and then I give really bad advice.
No, sometimes no, you have like your first round of advice that sometimes is not helpful, but then you get to like the meaty part that's like actually very helpful. And you've given me really good advice.
Oh, I feel like I just give you like sometimes stuff that's a little chaotic and like maybe you shouldn't do that. Like afterwards I'm always like I shouldn't have told her like that was the approach to take. I'm like I really that's why I don't know Matt, but I appreciate him because I feel like he balances out the awful advice I give.
That's so funny. Okay, next one. Am I reading this?
I think so. I think you're the gray ones and I'm the white.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. Okay, I like to feel that I am an important person in my social groups. I like to. I don't think I am, but
I already know. Like I feel like mine's so obvious. I said accurate.
I said
I would like
accurate.
to feel like the center of everyone's universe. And when
No,
I
me
don't,
too.
I'm like, what do you mean your life doesn't revolve around me? Like,
Take it
am I
back.
the sun? Like,
If I've been seeing a lot of people saying like, "I love you," say it back. That's how.
stay back right now.
Say it back. No, yeah, I would like to feel like that. I don't necessarily feel like I am, but I like it. I like the feeling. Okay.
I feel like that a lot because I do chaotic things that like need attention and that requires all of you to like discuss this thing that I just
I
did.
think what you do is like you actively commit arson, and then you're like, "Guys, help! Help!"
I'm
And
like pouring gasoline. I'm like, I hope no one
you're like,
stops me.
"Oh no!" But like
I hope
in an
like
endearing way.
I'm like driving my car, just like fucking ready to crash into like the guardrail. I'm like, oopsies. Like, I hope no one helps
Guys.
me.
That's me, dude. That's so funny. Oh my God. Amazing. Okay.
The
Next
manic pixie
one.
dream girl thing really does
It
fit.
really jumped out. Honest. Oh my God. I felt so bad when I said that. I was like, did I just like
No,
roast her?
so accurate. I know this. I know I act like the way men write women. And
That was such a bad. I can't believe I said that to you on the podcast.
I think about it, and you know what's weird? I kind of like it. Like,
I feel so bad. I feel guilt. I'm like, why did you
no,
say that to her?
the way I act, like I'm like Stephen King would write me in one of his books. Quentin Tarantino would absolutely cast me.
He would be like, okay, take off your shoes. You'd be like, okay,
I'd be like, I mean, like, yeah, it's kind of hot.
for sure.
Kind of hot in here.
Okay, next one.
It is important to me to be successful.
Okay,
That's what I said.
yeah. Okay.
I feel like that one's like obvious for us.
Yeah, that's like a staple. The organizations I belong to would not function well without me. The organizations.
Here's the thing. I say mildly inaccurate. I think things would actually function better.
Really, I feel mildly accurate. Yeah, I
I
feel
think I hold people back. Like, I think that
that's
when I stop being friends with people, they like succeed.
no, that is so not true, dude. That's not
It's
true.
like a little true.
No, it's not. Oh my God.
Like I'll
That's
like stop being friends with someone and they realize their dream and like find the love of their life the next month. I'm like, man, I was holding or I feel like sometimes when I'm friends with people, they stop being friends with like their other friends, and I'm like, did I do that?
That's so funny. I
I'm
don't
like
agree with
holding it
that for
back.
you, but that's a funny thought, but I don't think it's accurate, but interesting. Okay.
I feel so sure of that.
Okay.
I often feel overtaken by my emotion.
Accurate. That's my whole personality.
My whole personality is freaking out
Mhm.
and emailing my professors like something like 3 times in a row and like not even including like an opening line or anything and like just panicking like and then they email me back, they're like, it's okay. Like
Amazing.
um,
That's so funny, dude.
I
No,
can't believe
yeah.
I've done that like 3 times now.
I've never done that, but I think I frequently go to my friends like I I'm having a mental breakdown, I'm losing my marbles. Here's why, and then that's like the friendship, you know?
I cried on this is like embarrassing, but I cried on FaceTime with Han, and I don't think I've ever cried in front of you before.
No, you've
Or maybe
never.
on Mariel's birthday, but that was like a Mariel thing.
That
Like
was like a
something
different thing.
really
That was
sweet
like
did.
an experience happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'd ever cried in front of Han, so I was like holding it back. It was because I watched a documentary.
I know, it was really upsetting. I've never cried in front of you either. I don't feel opposed to crying in front of you. I just never have.
Like for some reason I was like, I cannot hold it in.
Oh my God, that's so sad. No, I like when people cry around me.
I'm
That's
so
weird,
bad at
but like
crying in front of people. So
really,
bad at it.
I'm so free with it. I'm just like, wow. I usually cry in front of guy friends. I can't
Yeah.
explain what this means. What does that mean? Because I'm like, because I don't, for some reason, crying around like girl friends like feels wrong. Like it feels like it feels different. I don't know why I can't do it as well. I think I could still do it, but I don't feel as comfortable doing it.
Mhm. I feel too vulnerable crying around men. I'm like, they're gonna
Really?
capitalize
I'm
on
the
that.
opposite. I'm the opposite. I feel too vulnerable crying around girls.
Mhm.
I don't know what it is. I think that must be some weird internalized like
Mhm.
misogyny. What is that? I don't know what it is.
I don't know what to classify that as.
I haven't been
It's
able
like
to for the longest
I guess
time.
it depends on why you're doing it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But
I just,
like that's a
yeah.
lot to unpack. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll think about that and come back in about like 3 weeks for another episode. And okay, I've always felt different from other people.
I already answered.
Yeah,
I said accurate. But again, I think
accurate.
it's a little bit of my narcissism and a little bit of I'm just not like other girls that I haven't like shed from middle school.
No, yeah, my like individuality complex that is just so loud sometimes.
Or no, I'd say high school is when I really developed that. Middle school, I was still trying to be like everyone else. And then high school, I was like everyone else, but I thought I wasn't.
Mm,
So
yeah.
like,
Oh,
yeah.
interesting. I very quickly stopped trying to be like everybody else.
Mhm.
I think probably like in sixth grade. Not that that was like a good thing for me, but I
Mhm.
just was like I started getting really I got really like stubborn and I was like I refuse to be like them. I refuse to compromise myself. And I was like what? Like 14, like calm down. But
Yeah,
yeah.
mine was until high school. And then I got the like not like other girls complex for a minute. It was
Wow.
gone by my sophomore year because I realized I was just copying everyone. And I still do that. Like I'm literally every other girl. I am
And there's
straight out of
nothing
a
wrong.
Tarantino movie. Like
Oh my God. I don't think you are, but like I don't think there's anything wrong with being like everyone though.
yeah, I kind of like it because it means like you like relate to people or whatever.
Cool.
Next, I like to analyze things from every single angle.
Um, do I? I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, I think we do that a lot.
Hmm.
Like even things that don't really need like when people are like the devil's advocate argument and people make fun of them. I feel like we do that but to ourselves. Like
Yeah,
we're like
with our feelings. I'm like, I feel
Mhm.
like this, but do I feel like this? And I'm like, oh, but this is a contrasting feel because every single feeling I feel has another feeling within me that is like the complete opposite, which makes me very confused all the time about how I feel.
Mhm.
Because I'm just a walking like contradiction. I don't know why. So
Yeah. I think I'm like a hypocrite in most areas of my life. Like
I feel
or
like that
like
too. I
with
don't
my
know.
friends, like there's some things I would never let anyone get away with, but if my friends do it, I'm like
Yeah.
I like to clarify that I mean that in a sense of like doing something like annoying, not like committing
Hmm.
a hate crime. But
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay, I always have a plan for what I would do if things go wrong. Accurate for me.
oh, okay. So I said neutral because I used to plan in my head like what would happen if a school shooter came in. And like I had like 8 different plans, all depending on location. But like, yeah, I don't do that as much anymore. I imagine what would happen and then I just don't do anything about it. Except for I do sleep with a knife sometimes if I'm sleeping alone. I slept with a knife the other night. I'm lucky I didn't roll over on it because I
Oh
forgot about it.
my God.
Um,
Wow, I don't have that. I don't have the same thing of like, okay, I wasn't thinking about like something going wrong as in like it threatening my life. I was thinking about like just life things going wrong,
oh,
which I
okay.
do have plans for. I'm not prepared for if my life has been threatened or something, but
I think that's why I said neutral because well, I'm super prepared for like things that likely aren't going to happen, knock on wood.
Mhm.
I'm like ridiculously unprepared for things that are likely to happen because I'm like, if I think about it too much, I'll get too nervous. So I just like when I was like, what if I didn't schedule my classes for the college I went to before I went to NYU.
Mhm.
And I was like, if I don't get in, like I'm not going to get any classes. Like,
No.
and I was like,
I don't
okay.
think like that. I probably would have got my classes. I think that's the difference.
I went and met with my advisor, got approved for my classes, and then didn't schedule them.
Oh my God.
That's
I don't
ballsy.
function.
Like,
Yeah, I don't function like that. That's crazy. Hey y'all, so it's Han, and I'm cutting this episode off here because we kept going for like another hour taking this test, and I didn't want to make this go on for too long. So you can catch part 2 next week. We'll complete the test, and the week after we'll talk about our results and how compatible our types are with each other. But anyways, thanks for listening. We have our resource list in the I was gonna say in our bio, but like down below. And also follow us on Instagram at 2baddecisionspod and at shop2baddecisions. Yeah, you can catch us there, and you can also see cute little like audio clips and like I don't know, just stuff about the podcast when the episodes come out. So I would follow over at 2baddecisionspod. But anyways, thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.